Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us from across the globe. Welcome to another episode of The Doctors Are In, here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. This is Dax Carlisle. I'm a tarot advisor, numerologist, hypnotherapist, and life coach coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me, as always, my fabulous co-host. She's a certified life coach, spiritual teacher, Dr. Rose Wilkerson, live from Berkeley, California. Hey, Rose, another Friday.
It is Friday. It's a great day. Well, every Friday can be a great day, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the weather here is great. It's a little bit over 70 degrees out here. I'm sitting out on my patio. And, wow, this is going to be a fun show because we got a special guest, which we don't regularly have. So it'll make it even more fun. We've got Charlotte Quarnberg. She's a reader and a crystal keeper. We'll be talking about crystals today. I know Hematite is coming to visit us. We're going to be talking about Hematite. But we're also taking your phone calls, too. It's open lines every Friday, so you can call in, open lines, anything that's on your mind, life coaching, free tarot mini readings. We're doing it all today. And playing with Charlotte. So before we bring Charlotte on, just real quick here, let's give out the information, how they can call in. If you're listening live, give us a ring at 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. That lets us know you want to be live on air. Otherwise, we assume you're just listening to the show because you can do that as well. Maybe you can't get Wi-Fi where you're at, or you're running around and you just want to dial in and listen, you can do that. But if you want to chat with us, press number 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. Here's that number again, 714-816-4628. You can also join us on the chat post at psychictalk.net/chat. Every day we've got a post on our Facebook group, and we use the comments at the bottom of the post as our chat room. So feel free to pop in there with us. It's the Psychic Talk Radio group on Facebook, but we have that quick URL that'll take you right there, psychictalk.net/chat. And we already have a bunch of people on the phone line, so we'll be going to phone calls a little early today. I wanted to mention that today's show is sponsored by the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professional readers. Since 2004, that's right, we're in our 17th year. You can come over and join us at thetarotguild.com. It's not just a website, it's an entire social networking platform, just like Facebook, except it's all tarot all the time and none of the negative stuff. That's right. And you can join there as an associate member for free. That's right. Go to thetarotguild.com/join. Or if you're on the website, click Join the Guild, and it explains everything right there. You can sign up with your Facebook account, your Twitter account, your Google account, or a username, use your email address and a password, however you'd like to do it. Come hang out with us at thetarotguild.com. All righty, so before we go any further, without any further ado, let's bring on Charlotte Quarnberg. Hey, Charlotte. Yay.
I like that.
Back on the air with us.
It's like a stadium full of people.
That's right. We had them all here in studio with us.
Yes.
Standing by.
Yes. To welcome you to the show.
Of course. I'm just so happy to be here. I just what's
now you've been calling in, but when did we have you on the show last? Was that December?
I think it was, because Dr. Rose was grading papers. So she was, whenever that was, you'd have to ask her.
Right.
Yep.
That would have been December.
Like the 16th.
That would have been in December. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Halfway through December. And we had such a fun time on that show. I mean, we missed having Dr. Rose here, but me and Charlotte, we had a great time. Took phone calls. The readings went incredibly well and everything. So, we're going to be talking about hematite today. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Sauce. Hey, I think we should, take some phone calls because people have called in earlier. Right before that, though, I want to do the card of the day. We always do the card of the numerology of the day. And it's all written up for you. There's a lot more detail. I'm not going to give everything on the air here. We don't want to use up the whole show on this, But I wrote an article on it. You can go over to thetarotguild.com/articles, or if you're on the website, thetarotguild.com, just click on articles, and it should be like the first article, the Tarot Numerology for Friday, February 26, 2021. The card of the day is the Queen of Wands. Yes. One of my favorite cards. And so the day is the 26th, which reduces to an 8 energy. 2 plus 6 is 8. That's the abundance and prosperity number. And the entire day, 2/26/2021, adds up to 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. That's that nurturer, healing, hearth and home, family kind of number. Yes. So put that all together with the card of the day today. All the queens in the tarot deck are associated with 33, the master healer, master teacher number. And, healing is an aspect of the fire element represented by the wands in tarot. And this card's all about love of life and independence and confidence and passion, creativity, optimism, balance, especially in career and family. Following one's passions, sex appeal, charisma, as well as sometimes maybe being a little impulsive or quick-tempered as well here. But the main takeaway I want you to take away today, and you can see the beautiful image of the Queen of Wands from the Llewellyn Tarot deck right there, is self-confidence. That's the main thing today. Self-confidence is often key in our pursuit of abundance and prosperity, which is the day energy, as well as happiness, and it plays a powerful role in our ability to heal others. So one thing I said in the article was, comparing yourself to others is never the way. Instead, you want to get in touch with your true self, and doing this allows you to get comfortable with yourself, and that leads to self-confidence. And a great way to get started, little suggestion I made in the article, was to pull the Strength card out of your tarot deck. Now, if you don't have a tarot deck, that's okay. Just go on Google and type in the Strength card tarot. You'll get all kinds of fun images. Open up a big image of it, and you can do a meditation, meditating on the card there. You want to examine all of the details of the image, close your eyes, try to reconstruct the image in your mind, then open your eyes up again and see what you missed, and then close your eyes and reconstruct the card. Imagine even stepping into the card and having a conversation with the folks in there. That's right. Yeah, the Strength card is all about that inner strength, and love conquers all. I thought it would be very appropriate for working on self-confidence, Or you could actually use the Queen of Wands card itself for a guided meditation. So there you go. Go check it out under articles at thetarotguild.com. And are you ladies ready? Shall we take our first call?
I'm ready.
Sure.
Dr. Rose, bring them on. Who's been waiting the longest?
Okay. We have a person from 323 area code. 323, hello, welcome to the show. Please give us your name and let us know where you're calling from.
This is David. I'm in Palm Springs, California.
Hey, David.
Hello,
Welcome to
David.
the show.
Thank you. First time calling in. And I never get to be first
Nice.
at anything, so this is a good day.
Oh, it's very
It is
Right.
a good day.
So I actually,
David, how can we help you?
well, I called in because I have a question for Charlotte, but I have a question, kind of a general thing for everyone, all three of you. So I actually have had a deck of tarot for years that I've used it off and on, and I've never connected with it. It never gave me, it didn't like me, and I didn't like it. And I wrapped it in silk and put a crystal with it. And I finally decided that it doesn't work for me because I'm not looking for love or money. I've had enough. I've had enough sex. I've had enough wine. I'm not out in the world trying to get stuff. And I kind of think that the tarot is more helpful if you're out, trying to get stuff. And so I segued into most of my relationships are with crystals. And so I've become someone, I've collected quite a few. And now, kind of like what people did to me back in the day, now the crystals have all just kind of gone cold. And I'm not connecting with them on any level, and I'm kind of confused because they seem to have really had a strong connection to me at first, and now it's just ice cold.
Well, so I totally get to think about the deck of cards. I've had decks that just never resonated with me. But also crystals, the crystals always have their time and their place, and even the crystal of the day that we're going to talk about later, it was like I didn't have to wonder what I was going to talk about because it was like basically screaming hematite, hematite, hematite. And then when I got into the, diving deeper into what hematite was for, I realized why. But so with your crystals, I guess I'm going to ask, have you cleansed and charged them?
Oh, yeah.
Have you put them under the full moon and...
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them lined up to go into the full moon tomorrow night. But, yeah, almost all of them went into the full moon at the end of December. I put them, I live in Palm Springs, so the weather's nice year-round. I put them out in the sun. I put them in the ground. I cleanse them. I Palo Santo them. I mean, yeah, these are like squeaky clean. And I actually, it's interesting. I didn't know you were going to talk about hematite, but I love hematite. I have a hematite quartz from Morocco that I love a lot. So I agree with you that it's a powerful presence.
Yeah, and you might be spoiled for choice if that makes sense. Maybe maybe you're trying to connect with too many at once.
Okay.
Because I know, for me, I'm playing a little tune for you there on my phone. I wait, and I rarely carry the same crystals every day. I just, because I have I have a couple of dishes of just, like smaller ones that I can put in my pocket for the day. And I rarely carry the same crystals, and it's never just one either. And maybe try just putting some of them up on the shelf for a while, and maybe grounding yourself, maybe taking some of your hematite and going out and, sitting someplace peaceful with your feet on the ground. And because that's what I find when things stop talking to me, whether it's the cards or the crystals, it's that I've let myself get too out there. I'm not grounded anymore of that. And I wouldn't be surprised because there's so much stuff going on in the world right now, with COVID being at the top of the list, and then, the politics here in the U.S. and internet, all the stuff that's going on, and so much negative energy in so many more people. I mean, the social media has, as much good as it's done, it's also shown us how much, it's brought negative energy to us as well. And
it can be very distracting. Yeah.
And I think we almost get so overwhelmed with that stuff that it makes it hard for all of our good stuff to get in. And so I think I might take it back to the bare minimum of like just a crystal quartz, just a plain crystal quartz, some amethyst and some does they say rose quartz, clear quartz, and then like a black tourmaline or something like that, just back to your very basics, and talk to them and tell them what, ask them for the help you need, or, any kind of guidance. And, of course, your rose quartz is going to bring in your love and your peace, and your amethyst, if you're having problems sleeping or anything like that. And then, of course, the dark ones to keep the negative energy away. And just, maybe just go back to, just a few at a time, and then see if that doesn't, like, crack open start cracking open the door again. And then your other ones that have been special to you may start talking to you again, because I know for me, Labradorite is my go-to, and if it's not talking to me, then I know I need to back up a little bit, ground myself, and start over again.
Yeah, I do a pretty good job of grounding. I always have pyrite or black tourmaline within, close to me, and I do keep my feet on the grass quite a bit. So.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Do you have any experience with phenakite?
With what?
Phenakite.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. And if you have a chance to call in on when Mary Brown is on, I'm just like, I'm a little tadpole in the big crystal ocean of life. I'm just a little tadpole, and Mary is amazing. She knows so much more than I do about stuff. But I would definitely try to call in.
Hey, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just jump in to let David know that Mary does a show called There's a Rock for That. It's the first Saturday of each month. So that's when you want to call in. So this coming month, so it's going to be next week, next Saturday the 6th, if you want to call in and chat with Mary more about crystals.
Yeah,
cool.
And David, you will love it. You will absolutely love Mary. I mean, she is like a crystal maven. She is like so awesome. And I'm just like, if you want to do yourself a favor, call in on the 6th and talk to Mary, because you'll make sure to tune into her show every time after that.
Awesome. Thank you for the advice.
I know this month she's doing Lucky Stones, and her featured crystal is labradorite. So that's going to be fun. She also does crystal mini readings on the show.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to
Thank you
add
so
one
much.
thing, if you don't mind, David. One of the questions you can also ask, as Charlotte had indicated, is how can I deepen my relationship with you? So if you don't have a particular problem, as you indicated, that you're not experiencing abundance issues or love issues or things of that nature. If you don't have a particular problem going on, then you can always ask the crystal, how can I deepen my relationship with you? And maybe just focus on one, as Charlotte indicated earlier. and take it with you, wherever you go, or if you go anywhere. I don't go much of anywhere nowadays, but if you travel or if you're working or whatever you're doing, make it a daily practice to connect with the crystal every day and just and work it out that way. And then maybe just feel what you like. Try to, I don't know how people with their psychic abilities are very different. So sometimes people will sense the energy. Maybe you could just focus on that. What are some of the sensations that you feel? Even if it's just the crystal sitting in your hand, just think about the physical sensations of it being in your hand. Start there. If you notice anything else that happens as you are holding the rock or you're carrying it with you, try to take note of that, different times during the day. It doesn't have to be a lot, but that's what I would do, is just focus on one. Because in my opinion, these crystals always give out energy. It's not like they say, okay, I'm tired, I'm not going to, connect with this person anymore, especially when you're taking care of them, right? That there's somewhere, usually it's with us, for some reason we're not connecting. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. It could be thoughts that we have in our minds. Usually that's, the culprit, or maybe there's some kind of deep down belief that you have that's blocking that. But treat the crystal as if you're a friend. I always talk about developing relationships. My biggest thing is archetypes, gods and goddesses, angels, and things of that nature. And you treat them as a friend. You talk to them every day. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? Just keep that energy and openness going. And I think you should experience some kind of shift, even if it's just, how does the rock feel in my hand? Even if you're really not picking up anything extrasensory or whatnot, just continue to have that relationship with them, and see how that goes. It makes it a little bit more
advice,
more inviting, I would say. Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Okay,
well,
thanks
for
much.
the call, David. It was fun.
Thanks for calling, David. That was a great first call.
Yeah, thanks, David. And call us back and let us know how it went, okay? Okay.
Have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, great
Now,
weekend,
before we go to
David.
another caller, I just wanted to piggyback on some of the stuff. David first started out talking about the tarot deck he acquired. And so for people listening in and heard that, where he wasn't connecting, sometimes cards or a particular deck, even if it's the same deck, I'm talking about, okay, you buy a deck of, that's the Llewellyn deck. Let's take that for an example. Or Rider-Waite. And you buy a second deck, and it's the exact same deck, but you connect with one, but you don't connect with the other. Then there's the thing where people are just not connecting with the imagery, and they're just not feeling it. So you have to find the deck that speaks to you. Now, nowadays it's a lot better than it used to be. It's Charlotte, by the way, I don't know if that's coming from your line, but I'm getting a lot of background noise. Lot of things snapping
here.
and clicking, and I don't know where that's coming
my dog
from.
crunching her dog food.
That could be it.
I'm not sure. I just want to, make you and Rose aware that there's a lot of background noise going on. I don't know where it's coming from, but I just thought I'd throw that out there so you guys can look around. Do I have paper shuffling? Do I have fans running? Whatever. There's a lot of things that can cause, even if you're using a wired mic, like with the mic is in line in your earbuds and it just rubs across your blouse, you don't hear a thing, but we hear like a tornado on our end of it. Anyway, just want to put that out there for you. And so back in the day, it was really difficult. I mean, you'd have to go to a metaphysical store or a bookstore that had tarot decks, and hopefully they had like images you could look at or open decks that you could look through. Nowadays everything is on the internet. You can Google tarot decks and look to your heart content. There's thousands and thousands of decks instead of like 3 or 4 when I started. And it's so much easier to find a deck that resonates with you, connects with you. You could just type in tarot and an interest you have. I mean, you can literally put in tarot baseball. You're going to find a baseball tarot deck. I'm not kidding you.
You're right about that. I think I've seen that.
That is, you know, I'm into fairies. Okay, little fairies tarot deck. You know, I'm into emojis. Yeah. Emoji tarot deck. Yes, there's an emoji tarot. There is everything out there, you know, under the sun. You're going to find something that connects with you. And then also, last thing is, as far as, you know, if you're not connecting, a lot of it has to do with the same advice that you, Rose, and Charlotte gave about carrying it with you, connecting with it, always having it there. You know, you buy a deck, you put it up on the shelf, you take it down once a week, once every 2 weeks or something like that. That's not going to work. When you get a new deck, you have to make it a daily practice to look at that deck. Do a 1 card or a 3 card, you know, daily spread. Go through the images throughout the whole deck, face up, you know, once a day. Carry it around in, you know, your backpack or your pocket or wherever you can, your purse, wherever you can carry it. Take it with you everywhere you go. Some people put it under their pillow at night, you know, and sleep with it under their pillow so they'll connect energetically. You just have to work with it a lot, and it may take weeks before it starts to speak to you and before you really feel that connection. Yeah. So I just wanted to give that out before we go to our next call. And let's take another call before we talk about hematite.
Okay, let me take one thing before we take the next caller, just really quickly. I'm glad you said the thing about sometimes you just don't connect with the specific deck of how did you put it? It's like the same deck, but one of them you connect with and the other one didn't. I had the same experience with something where it was a very interesting deck. It had was it African gods in it and things of that nature, and I really wanted to have it, and I just could not connect with that deck. Just energetically, I didn't like it. It just, ugh. I threw that away, bought another one of the same kind, and I was fine with that one. I had a great connection with. So it was sometimes just the energy of the cards, of the stack of, you know, of the actual.
Yeah, that
cards
particular
deck. I'm glad you stayed with that because I actually had that experience. Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason why I know this is so true is that I have my go-to decks, right? And I try to have backups of them because they can get damaged. You know, it's different if you're just doing it as a hobby or collecting. Well, even collecting, you should always buy 2. You know, keep one wrapped up. And anyway, but my point here is that because I do readings, a deck can get damaged. Okay, so I have the backup deck, right? I've had it where everything was great with all my readings and with, you know, with a particular deck, and then I lost a card or it got damaged or whatever, and I just put that aside and I pulled out the fresh version of the exact same deck and tried to connect with it, and it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I ended up buying another copy. Fortunately, most decks are not that expensive. I mean, if you get an artist version of a deck, not the mass-produced, but, you know, the limited edition, you know, you're going to pay $85, $100 for the deck. But a lot of decks are, you know, sub $20, you know. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there too. So who's been waiting the longest?
Yes, we have a caller with the area code 678. Hello, 678. Welcome to the show. Please give us your name and let us know where you're calling from.
Hi, it's Kathy from Georgia.
Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the show. What can we do for you today?
Had a relationship question, insight. Do you see it getting better, worse? What do you see around it?
Okie doke. we can do that.
And the guy's name is Tony.
Are you pulling some cards, Charlotte? There.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. God, I'm getting a lot of threes. Is it? It's like you, him, and somebody else. Is there some dynamic with a third person or relatives or I don't know. There's just this weirdness here going on that I had to throw out there.
Maybe his ex-wife.
That could be a possibility. Now, in general, when I look at the cards, it's a pretty strong yes that things will eventually pan out. It is looking really good. It looks like somebody needs to let go of something so that you guys can move forward. The star card showed up, which is fantastic. I mean, that's always a good indicator. And the Empress card, that was one of the 3 cards, by the way. And that's a card about growth a lot.
The star card?
The Empress card. The star card is hope. Hope, faith, maintaining your optimism for the relationship. You know, you got to focus on how you want it to be versus how it is now. You know, if you want growth, well, what is that growth entailing? Where are you getting to? What is the next point? In other words, you got to write this all down, you know, and figure it out, you know, how you want the relationship to be so that you're sending that out to the universe. This is how I want it to be, and not focusing on anything that's, you know, not working out or missing right now, or, you know, any of the reason why you called in. You don't want to focus on that because you're just going to bring more of that in, you know. So the star card that's saying to do that, and along with the Empress, which is talking about growth. You have to know where you're growing into. And let's see what Charlotte's getting. What are you doing, Charlotte? Are you pulling tarot, or are you pulling some other cards? Or
I pulled an oracle card because
cool.
I like how tarot can give you kind of yes/no things, but I also think that there are things that, you know, we have to do ourselves as well, but do it with help. And that's the exact card I got was Angel Therapy. And it was like, for Archangel Raphael is to, you know, give your cares, and worries to Raphael, but in doing so, you're asking him, you know, what is up with this relationship? This is where I want it to go. Because do you want it to progress? Do you want it to be a long-term thing? And if so, ask for guidance how to make that happen, and then listen for or feel for what comes through from the angels to help you do that. Because in the end, you know, we're on this end of the phone, you're on that end of the phone living your life, and, you know, something you do even today could completely change, you know, the yes or no answer. So it's, you know, it's based on, you know, what's currently happening. And so with the Angel Therapy card, I think, that would be my recommendation, is just as, like Dax said, you know, you've got to, you know, where do you want this to go? Where, you know, what do you really want to happen with this relationship? And then what do you need to do to make it happen? And I think that's going to be the best way, because you've got to work at it. You can't just like go, okay, universe, give me this present. You know, you've got to You've got to put your 2 cents in as well. So
do you see he wanting it also?
I ask more for you because it's what you want. because you can only affect yourself, right? So I guess I'm kind of a
well, that makes perfect sense. Well, yeah, and the other thing, Charlotte, is for that's a completely different question than what we were originally pulling the cards for. Now, I did pull cards real quickly in the interest of time here. Normally we don't do multiple questions, but we got time, so I'm just saying I'm going to pull some cards, look at it real quickly. It looks like I'm getting a probable yes. That means there's more work to be done. There's a delay with the Hanged Man, and I'm not sure exactly what that's talking about exactly, but it looks like there's he's definitely contemplating the relationship and what's the word for it? He's reviewing it. He's reassessing things along those lines. But he's definitely leaning towards wanting the relationship, according to the cards. But there's some things going on. There's that the Seven of Pentacles is talking about this assessment. The Hanged Man is talking about a delay, and potentially also when that card comes up, I often suggest thinking outside the box. That how can you reconnect? How can you move things forward? Things along those lines as well. But just
Kathy,
in general, to answer that question.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't mind, Kathy, have you spoken to him about your interest in him and having some kind of a relationship, something more than friendship or whatnot?
Yeah, we have. Jax is dead on. He's all in or nothing. So he's contemplating, like Jack said. I mean, it's almost like you read his brain, trying to see if he can fully commit or not commit. Today's his birthday, so I reached out to him just to say, very general, happy birthday, peace and prosperity, etc. He texted back, said thank you, God bless. Somebody that he knows died, so there is a wake today and a funeral tomorrow, so he's kind of down at the same time. So I didn't want to kind of press him.
That's part of a lot of these delays we're seeing. Yeah.
And his ex-wife, but I didn't want to press him to go, are we going to see each other, etc. I was just trying to just say, you're special, it's your birthday, and hopefully he comes to me at some point today. Deal, because I'm trying to give him a space to work it out in his head because I want it right, but at the same time it's just like, hurry up because I might be leaving, so it's that thing going on. Does that make and I don't want to leave, but you know what I mean? My heart will still be there, but I'm in it, I want it, but it's like pride is like, really? You need to hurry up. This is a good catch over here. Really? And you know that too. So that's what.
Well, I agree with what you're talking about in terms of the waiting. Here's the thing. He does, based on what you were talking about and the readings that you've received today, he definitely has a lot going on. And then when you're dealing with funerals and people passing away, the grieving process, I just don't know. I don't know who it is and what the connection was, between the two people. But what I would say is this. You focus on the kind of person that you want in your life and do not be worried about what decisions he makes. I mean, if he, hopefully he will become interested because it sounds like you're interested too. And, I'm always about people getting together when it's, when they mutually want to be together. But but at the same time, you don't have to do it like, okay, if you don't come to me by Sunday, we're done, But what you can do is just to say, is to keep your mind focused on the type of relationship that you want. Imagine you being with your best guy and what you guys are doing on a continual basis and what kind of conversations you have. Don't worry about what his decision is. He has a lot of stuff going on at the moment. I'm not predicting anything, so I don't want you to interpret it that way, but that you can continue to create in, using the law of attraction and things of that nature. We've had plenty of shows about that, the kind of person that you want in your life. And if he doesn't work out, then he doesn't work out. There's nothing, that's a good thing because you're still, generating that energy for the kind of person who's the best match for you. You know what I mean? So you can, I wouldn't say move on from him. I'm just saying you focus your mind on the kind of relationship you want. Whether or not he decides to join you is just, that's, he is where he is.
Right.
And
it may or may not be him.
Exactly.
You're right. And I understand that's so hard in a way. When I met this guy, a couple, like our second time together, I was just like, oh, my God, this is my husband. I have never in my life said that, ever.
Yeah.
And I'm older. And I've never wanted to really – it didn't matter if I got married, not married, date, not date. I hadn't dated in 10 years. So it was a huge step. So that's why when Spirit says something to me like that, it means something. So that's why I'm trying – my best to be patient. I'm a Leo. Patience is not in my vocabulary. And I've been trying. So it's that rock and the hard place where I do try my best to stay focused on what I need to do, etc. But as they say, the nighttime is the worst time. Right before you go to bed, it's like when the idle mind, it spins. But most of the time I'm okay. So it's hard because I really do like him and I really think he's my person. Yeah. But it's just like, you need to hurry up here. Really?
Yeah, you know what? You have a lot of fire. I can tell that. And as you said, you're Leo and everything like that. I would recommend before you go into sleep, especially when you have those feelings come up, is to take 10 minutes to in a way, meditate and put yourself in a meditative state to calm some of that down. So one thing would be the first 5 minutes is to relax all the muscles in your body, and the second 5 minutes is just to listen to your breathing and bring some of that energy down because you're imbalanced, because you are wanting him to make that decision right now, and he just may not be able to do that at this time. So, well, hopefully that will provide something for you, Kathy, and wishing you the best of luck. So hopefully you'll call back maybe next Friday or the Friday after next or whatnot and let us know how things are going, okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend there. So I wanted to say about that was that was spot on, Dr. Rose, because that's what I tell people about, when we're talking about focusing in on the kind of person you want to draw in. And also working on yourself first. That's what we're talking about. Is it's not a specific person. It's the type of relationship you want, the type of person, the qualities, and if you put that out to the universe, it may end up being him, but it may be somebody better. So you don't wait and continue to focus on an individual person.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're absolutely right, Dax, and I know also it can be really hard, and it's something I've always wanted to do a little bit more research on. Is sometimes it feels like it's a chemical reaction, like if your adrenaline suddenly shoots up, you have no control over it. It's something in your body that goes like, come on, let's go. We got to move forward, because I totally feel that energy from Kathy. I've been there so many times, Kathy. I wish you the best in that. That's why I was suggesting that whole meditation part, because it's difficult. It's difficult, but I agree. It's not about any one person. It's about the kind of relationship that you want to develop, and it can be a little trying. But meditation will help bring some of that fire energy down. You got a lot of fire going on there, so we got to bring that down a little bit to stabilize you so you can focus.
Plus, there's two things about that, and the reason why that isn't what you do. It's because that's not how the universe and the law of attraction works. So there's two factors involved. One is that everybody has free will. So he has free will. So in other words,
right.
you can't focus on a particular person because you can't alter their free will. That just never works. The other aspect is that although we say you can manifest what you want, you can concentrate on the Maserati, that you want to materialize in your driveway, right? From the movie The Secret. But the thing is, with people, it does. The other factor is the reason why it doesn't work is when you focus on this one person instead of the qualities of the individual, any individual that you would like to have a relationship with. What happens is you consciously or subconsciously start focusing on the lack that he's not there yet. He's not at that point, you see.
Right.
So that's why you don't focus on a particular individual. One, they have free will. Two, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You got to take out a piece of paper and start writing down, okay, these are the kind of things I want to be doing in my relationship. I want to be going to dinners, here. I like sushi. He should like sushi. I like to ride roller coasters. I like to go dancing. I want somebody that is genuine, somebody that is stable, all the qualities of the person without a particular exactly what they look like, just more qualities, and just keep reviewing that list and adding to that list. And things may shake up, and it may be him, but you don't wait for him, and you don't focus on him.
Well, and the other thing too is someone who was ready. That's the other thing too, because sometimes you want that. You also want to put that into your someone who is open and they're ready, despite what happens in their life. Like I have a guy who's like that, and the only reason we haven't come together really has to do with international travel and the pandemic that's going on. But he's ready. Like he's like, oh no, I know you're the person for me. So as soon as I'm able to fly out there, as soon as it's physically possible, I will be there. And I want to see. I mean, he's ready. And he was more ready before I was even ready. In the beginning, I was like, wait a minute, you're going too fast. That was like that in a few months after we, met each other. But, you want someone who's ready. And you know that. You don't have to, let me see if he's going to make a decision and blah, blah, blah. Someone who's ready. They're ready to spend that time with you and do all those activities.
It's a great thing to put into the list, yes. So we blasted way past the bottom of the hour here. Dr. Rose, do you want to let us know what's coming up on the network?
Yes. So we have a lot of shows that are coming up this week. Tomorrow, for example, we have the Tarot Today Radio with Dax Carlisle, of course, that we have here on this show, and also Mary Brown. And they are doing their monthly psychic spin. And the topic is, what do you want to know from the universe? So if you have any questions that you want to know from the universe, Dax and Mary Brown, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, they will be ready to answer those questions for you. And on Sunday, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, we have the Magic Universe with Sharona Rapsick, and her topic is the magic of angel colors. Oh, that sounds so heavenly. So can't wait to listen to that show on Sunday. And then on Monday, we have the Wisdom of the Soul by Janice Fuchs. Same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesday, we have a slightly different time. Catherine Hahn's Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance. Her show will begin at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So she's a little bit later. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. We don't have a topic as of yet, but she always has these wonderful things about, ourselves and the universe and angels and things of that nature. So be sure to tune in during that time. And then next Friday, we have the Doctors Are In show, and we have another special guest, Sharona Rapsick, and we're going to be talking about past life regression. I'm going to be really excited about that. I'm not going to.
I can't wait.
About it. Yeah,
that sounds like a cool show.
Yeah, so we'll have me and Dax and Sharona, so that's going to be exciting. Now, if you ever want to know what shows are coming up, please go to our website, psychictalk.net/upcoming. And that's psychictalk.net/upcoming, and that'll give you the list of our shows. And we have our list of shows all the way up to March 27th, so we think ahead. So we're excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have all the show topics filled in, but we have the what shows and what times at least. A lot of it is filled in through the middle of the month there for March. Now, I did want to throw in, because I happen to know, I heard from Catherine, and she's actually there's actually 5 Wednesdays this month, and she's going to be doing all of these shows on Back to the Basics. So
good.
She's going to, this March 3rd, this next Wednesday coming up, she's going to be doing What is Spiritual Awakening Part 1. And then the following week, she's going to do What is Spiritual Awakening Part 2. And then on the 17th, it's the chakras. On the 24th, it's Psychic Senses. So that would be all the clairs, I imagine she's going to do. And then on March 31st, she's going to do a series wrap-up of all of the basics. Psychic Basics. I think it's a great idea.
I think so, too. Sometimes we have to start again, need reminders.
Awesome sauce. That's right. That's right. So before we take any more calls, let's give some time for some folks to call in here at 714-816-4628, and then we'll go back to calls in just a second here. But let's talk to Charlotte a little about hematite. Charlotte?
I'm here. Well, so remember when you were asking, which crystal I thought I might choose, and I was like, hematite is like, it's there. It's like, it was like insistent. And this is a crystal that I hadn't worked with for a while, and so I thought it was really interesting that it was like making itself so known. And then as I did the research for, just so we could talk about it a little bit today, I was like, okay. Because hematite is a very, very grounding crystal. It's got a lot of grounding energy. So it's like, if you're feeling like the rug's been pulled out from underneath you, or your life feels chaotic or hectic, or you feel overwhelmed, or your mind all over the place, then hematite is the stone for that. And I'm checking yes to every single one of those things I just listed. Things have calmed down a little bit now this week, but there were a couple of weeks that was me on a daily basis. It's no wonder that hematite was trying so badly to help me. So, because, it can ground and balance you, and then there are also other healing properties that stem from, the high iron content in it. And if you've ever picked up a piece of hematite, it's quite heavy, it's quite dense, and it, almost that in itself is, kind of representative of the grounding process. It holds holding you down to the ground. It's making you. Sorry, my phone and my anchored. That's the word I'm looking for. It gives you a feeling of being anchored. And so, there's so many different things that it can do. It can calm your troubled mind. It can put your spirit at ease. So you can release any feelings of stress or tension. And also, it can absorb toxic emotions that are stopping you from being the happy person that, you were meant to be. And even, way back, historically, hematite was used for medicinal purposes. In ancient Egypt, they used it for treating inflammation because of its iron oxide properties. And that's actually why I added hematite to my crystal collection, was because I've got some issues with my knees that I put the hematite on them and just let it sit. And so that's what I originally bought it for. So then as I did more, and I did that on the advice of somebody that knows a lot about crystals, but then as I did the other research and found out, how grounding it can be when, your world feels like it's falling apart, I was like, oh yeah, that's why I needed it this time. So anyway, that's kind of a short and sweet sum up of hematite. And I love how these things work. And as I go along in my spiritual energy progression, I love how things are made known to me, like the hematite. I wasn't actively seeking. I'm like, oh, what crystal is gonna help me the best? It was just there saying, it's me, pick me, put me in your pocket for the day or for the week or for the, because you can wear it as jewelry, you can have it as a worry stone in your pocket.
Very pretty.
Yeah, you can, put it next to your bed to, block any negative energies at night. I mean, it's actually a really cool crystal.
I like how it just talked to you. It's like, no, me. It's kind of almost the opposite of our first caller, David. It's like not even trying to connect with a particular crystal, but the crystal itself is saying, hey, yeah, me right now.
And it was, because I don't know if you remember me telling you, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's hematite, because it was, if rocks could shout, it was basically shouting, pick me, you need me. And I guess in the back of my mind, I knew it would be a grounding crystal. But then when you start reading about, all the other stuff that it does, when it starts listing things like, like the rug has been pulled out from underneath you, etc., you're like, okay, yeah, that's why.
That's how it feels. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in a completely different part of my house than I've been in for a while, and it still was like calling out to me. So it was kind of cool. I love stuff like that. My decks will do that also. I'll be like, I'm not gonna read, I'm not gonna pull any cards tonight, and then a picture of a deck will come into my head, and it won't leave till I've picked it up and pulled a card, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I needed. That's what I needed to pick up this deck tonight. All right.
Yeah. That's funny. I have that with certain archetypes where they'll come to my mind all of a sudden out of the blue, and I'm like, and I've actually looked it up, because I do a lot of my associations, and I would say my spiritual practices are more Vedic in nature, and I will even look at Vedic astrology for that hour, and it would be the hour of that archetype. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to get my attention. It will just also, it's like a flash, almost like I see them and then they disappear, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah,
so
and they're like,
that you
hey,
get that with the decks and the crystals too.
Yeah, they're like, hey, pick us, we can help you. We want to help you if you'll only let us.
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that, Charlotte. That's a reminder for me. I get that all the time. Like, what do you want? I'm very human with my archetypes. You know, I always promise to be honest. Like, what is going on? And all they want to do is help. That's the bottom line. I'm the one being silly. So.
Well, thanks for that, Charlotte.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to do that, because honestly, I probably would have just gone on using it like I had been using it, and using it for the inflammation in my knees or anywhere else that you happen to have inflammation in your body. But I'm like, all right, I think I need to go get it out of that room and
yeah,
and put it back in rotation again. So.
Awesome. Awesome.
I just love how things work out like that.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. So we're at the end of the show, but I think we have time for maybe one more call. Now, if we don't get to your call today, I want to remind everybody that we're going to have shows the next 2 days. So we got Tarot Today Radio tomorrow with Mary Brown and myself, and then Sharona Rapsick's show, Magic Universe. She's going to be talking about the magic of colors and taking your calls and doing free tarot readings on Sunday as well. And it's the same time on Saturdays and Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, and the same phone number. So write it down, 714-816-4628. Also write down the link to our chat post, psychetalk.net/chat. You'll be able to get right into the chat room. The link there is on that post for listening into the show as well. So that's all you ever have to remember is the chat URL, psychetalk.net/chat, and the phone number, 714-816-4628. So who's been waiting the longest?
I guess.
Dr. Rose.
You have a person from area code 520. Hello and welcome to the show. Let us know your name and where you're calling from.
Lisa from Arizona. Thank you.
Hi, Lisa.
Arizona.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, yeah. I think I may have said this before. A few weeks into that, and it's solid. I mean, I'm not going back for good. And I'm at a property right now that I have for sale. Some people are climbing all over it, under it, through it. They brought an electrician out. Do you see it being sold?
Oh, there's a nice, quick, easy one right there. Hey, Charlotte, pull a card. See what you get.
Okay.
I love it.
Pull out my.
Charlotte's gonna take a look here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling out my tarot deck.
Oh, actually gonna do the tarot. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. What? I don't know. I'm very good at these yes or no answers. I'm gonna defer to you, Dax.
Well, what are you getting in the cards? Did you pull a card, or one card, or two cards?
I just pulled one card, and it was the Lovers. Because it's a fairy tarot deck, and it's card number 6. And
and it's 6 is hearth and home. It's about homes, and the Lover's card is major arcana. That's usually a positive, a yes answer. I got the 10 of Pentacles, which you can't get better than that. I mean, that's another yes card. And it's a card of financial stability and money changing hands and all that kind of thing. I think it looks pretty good.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll run with it. Yeah. I mean, they just told me they saw some Africanized killer bees on the property. I'm sitting right here. I called, it just
Wow.
looks, and they got the electrician here, so I don't know what's going to be happening now. And I guess I'll get dinged on the price, which I guess is okay. I mean, I know it's okay. I'll accept it. I called the person to remove bees. I don't know how much that's going to cost. So we'll see what we see.
There
Yep.
is
Yep.
there are several channels on YouTube that I actually ran across that are about the beekeepers and the guys that go out and remove hives and stuff. And it might be worth it for you to just like go onto YouTube and find and check that out, and maybe even send one of those guys a message and just say, hey, what do I need to know about this?
Right, yeah. It's funny you bring that up, Charlotte, because I pulled a card for that particular aspect of this, and I got the Page of Wands, which is often about, doing the research. Do the research.
Yeah. Yeah, I plan on doing research. I know this is 50 miles away from where I live, this property, and back where I live, my good friend of 22 years, and he knew everything. He worked with trees. He was in his 70s, and he had lots of acres on his property, and he went after a hive. And, I mean, he knew everything. He knew it all. And he was demolished by the bees. He was, taken out. So I'm a big fraidy cat, but I think, the research that I'll be doing too is calling different people. I do trust this guy to remove it. So it is what it is. It's just not a simple life, whatever. Just have to stop.
Yeah.
I
think you'll be able to get it. Yeah, I think you'll be able to get it all worked out, and, it looks very positive. And another aspect of that, like the feeling that's coming through, is to definitely do the research. In other words, don't go with the first person. Just check out a lot, ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call, though. That was great.
Thank you, Jax, for being there and all your panel. Thank you.
Yeah, well, best of luck to you. And
thank you.
I'll be really curious to see what happens with the bees. So you'll have to call us back.
Yeah. Like Jack said.
Charlotte's always listening in, too. Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
Charlotte's always listening in, too, so... Yeah, she'll hear you on Friday. Or Saturday.
I'll move forward and get it done. Whatever I need to do, I'll get it done for sure. But thank you all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Sometimes I like when the questions, Charlotte, are just the really easy things, like, is this going to happen kind of thing, because the spread that I use on air is a yes/no spread anyway, and so I'm not afraid of the yes/no question, and it just wow, the main focus card was that 10 of Pentacles. You get the 10 of Pentacles. I mean, especially Pentacles, it's involving finance, and you can't get better than 10. I mean, it's like, wow, this looks really good.
Yeah.
There might be a lot of negotiations, though. There might be negotiations, and then there's the B thing, but it's great. All the right cards came up and stuff like that. But see, you shouldn't have been afraid, Charlotte, because, you pulled the Lover's card, and there was your answer right there. You just had to think about it a little bit more. Card number 6. 6 is about homes, about hearth and home, everything to do with that, selling home, moving, all that kind of thing. And then, it's the Lover's card. I mean, that's a really positive card. The original meaning of the Lover's card, everybody, today's types of lover cards that you see in tarot decks, people think of romance and all that kind of stuff. But the original essence of the card was making a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So it just fits perfectly. And in the system that I use with the 5-card spread, major arcana cards like the Lover's, a yes, as well as even numbered cards like the 10 of Pentacles, again, yes. Odd numbered cards are no, core cards are typically no as well, And that's how that system actually works. And the reason why I like the 5-card spread is that in addition to the yes or the no, it gives you, it doesn't, a lot of people, they just pull a card, which is what you did, which is perfectly fine. And there are specific systems. We could do a whole show on just talking about yes, no, ways of doing yes, no's in tarot. There's ways of going through the deck, and you're shuffling, and you're looking for aces to come up in some situations. That's giving you the yes, and other cards are giving you no's and all. But instead of just a yes or a no, what's great about the 5-card from my mind just blanked. Lisa Blair Hunt, I think it is. Is it Lisa or butchering your name? I'm so sorry. Anyway, her from her book, Tarot. I think it's Tarot Prediction and Divination. I want to say off the top of my head. And what's great about that spread is it's giving you 5 cards, and what you end up with is not just a simple yes or a no, but you have a strong yes, you've got a probable yes, you've got a definite yes, a maybe yes, a maybe no, a probable no. And in addition to that, you have 5 cards to work with. That's where I got the page of Wands came up, which even before she brought up about the bees, that card had already come up, and it was like, oh, yeah, this card's talking about her doing some kind of research, and then she asks about the bee thing, and it's like, oh, that's what it's talking about. Yeah, I love it. Anyway,
yeah,
it was fun having you on here, Charlotte. As always, we'll have to have you back.
Well, it's been fun, and I have to tell you that. Well, I shared with Dr. Rose before you. I like to pull a card for myself out of the Divine Feminine Oracle deck every day because it's all these really cool women, and I'm like, okay, which strong woman needs to be my guide today? And how do you say her name again, Rose?
Oh, Yemaya, right?
Yemaya. Anyway, it's all about opening, like it's the meditation that goes with it is, what do I need to bring from out of the depths into the material world? And then the intention is, I'm an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. So to me, it's like this show is just confirmed. I need to continue practicing. I need to continue learning. And I just think it's kind of cool that this show validated the card. It was, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Kind of scratching your head wondering what I'm talking about.
No,
it makes perfect sense
it
to me.
says she creates a flow where before there was a block or stagnation in our life force.
That's what you need for sure.
Anyway, yep.
Awesome.
So that show has provided me, today it's provided me that, but of course over the last few years it's a lot more than that. I love your show. I love all the hosts and the messages that they bring and the fabulous energy that comes with them. And because I leave these shows feeling like I'm on this incredible high, this energetic high. It's not like it's not like a drug high or an alcohol high or anything like that. It's not that I know what a drug high is because I don't do that, but so it really is a gift to get to do these shows with you guys, and even when I call in, you're always so patient with me, and you're like, I never feel like it's like, oh, it's Charlotte again.
Well, hopefully,
so
you'll call in.
Awesome.
keep calling in, in between when we have you on the show, because it's always fun to have you call into the show as well. And I did want to mention for everybody listening out there, if you're a member of the Tarot Guild, or maybe you're thinking about joining the Guild, like I said earlier in the show, you can go over to thetarotguild.com/join, and you can join free as an associate member. We also have a professional membership, and Charlotte's a member of the professional membership. And if you join that, we invite you onto the radio shows, just like Charlotte did. So if you want to come on the radio show and be our guest, we'd love to interview you and find out about, you and your life with tarot, and we'll do some mini readings for the callers and just have a fun time like we did with Charlotte.
It really is fun, and if you have the opportunity to, to be a guest, man, snap it up, because, getting to work with Dax and Rose and Sharona and Catherine, it's awesome. It's just...
And Mary.
And Mary,
yeah.
Mary, yes, Mary. Sorry, Mary. Jeez.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to forget her. So...
Yeah, and we're starting to do a lot more of that here in 2021. Like we just had John Allen on, and gosh, my mind is blanking right now. But we're having a lot of our professional members on from the Tarot Guild as guests, and they each have a unique tarot story to tell. They each read very uniquely. And so, we're able to see, everybody's able to hear different reading styles, things like that. We just had John on, and we had Corby Metlight on. She's a certified tarot master. John just became a certified tarot master through the guild. And, so we're going to try to do that more and more throughout the year. We'll have our professional members on as guests, either on the Tarot Today radio show on Saturdays with Mary and I, or here with Dr. Rose and I. So if you're one of our professional members, just get a hold of us. Say, hey, I'd like to come on the show, and we'll book you on there right away. And if you're not a member yet, just go over to the website. Go over to thetarotguild.com. There's a lot of other benefits besides with the professional membership, besides getting on the radio shows. We'll do an exclusive video interview with you if you'd like to do that, put you on YouTube. You get a discount on all the certification levels. If you're new to tarot and numerology, you want to take my course, Tarot by the Numbers, it's half price for professional members. There's a lot of great benefit professional membership, and it's just $3.33 a month. That angel number 333, and we bill annually, so it's $39.99 for the year. So we also did that. We for 2021 we lowered it down to $39.99 to join, and it's kind of all a la carte now.
And you're with so many like-minded people. That's the other beautiful thing. You're just.
Mm-hmm.
It is a place for like-minded people. And, it's not always easy to find, places like that for people like us.
Right. And if you're listening to this show and, we're at the end of the show and you're interested in listening to some similar shows, get different ideas of how to do readings, different styles, things like that, check out those couple of shows, the one with John Allen, the one with Corby. You can go over to psychictalk.net/Saturdays, and it'll bring up all of the Tarot Today radio shows from Saturdays, and you can just scroll down and you can listen to the show with John, listen to the show with Corby. It's really great for new readers especially, So that's psychictalk.net. That's our website for the network itself, for the radio network. And if you just type in your browser psychictalk.net/Saturdays, it'll bring those shows up for you. Well, I want to thank all of our listeners and callers as well. We don't have a show without you. And thank you, Dr. Rose, for always being here with me on Fridays, except for when Charlotte fills in.
Great. You're so welcome. Well, we wish everybody a wonderful
Charlotte.
weekend and a wonderful week.
Yeah.
Well,
bye, everybody.
Welcome.
We'll see you
Bye,
next
guys.
time. Goodbye,
Bye.
Charlotte.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
Rose.
Charlotte. Bye, Dad.